IVM.
Welcome to another week on IVM. It's been a great week, and if you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. On Geek Fruit this week, Tejas and Dinkar discuss their favorite movie soundtracks. On The Scene and the Unseen, Amit Verma talks to researcher and activist Amit Chandra, and they dissect India's education sector. On Cyrus Says, we have writer and director Anand Sivakumaran, who's hosting a great new show for us called Croc Tales as well. Anand and Cyrus talk about how Anand journeyed from an engineer to a full-time writer. On Simplified, Naren, Chuck, and Shriketh go to the root of the word assassin and twisted an interesting history behind it. This week on Shunyan, we're joined by Sanjay Nath, who is the co-founder and managing partner at Bloom Ventures. We have a really interesting conversation about investing. On Marbles Lost and Found, Zen and Avanti talk to psychotherapist Alicia Halani. And also this week marks the 50th episode of the Pragati podcast. Hosts Hamsini Hariharan and Pawan Srinath sit down to talk about the long, strange trip it's been and also round up some of the recent news. And with that, I'm going to take you on to your shows.
Hi,
You're
listening to IVM
Daily.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of IVM Daily, a show where we talk about anything and everything. Today in the studio with me, I have Surbi,
Hey, hi.
Abbas,
Hello.
and a special guest, Rachel Lopez.
Hello.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
So, the reason we're all in the studio here today is because we're living in this modern world where our main interaction with the opposite sex when we're trying to date or be in a relationship is mostly through online sources. We're either on Tinder or Hinge or Bumble or Shadi.com. I'm not really sure.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah. So, today's episode is all about rules of online dating. So, Rachel, you have some thoughts about this, so we would love to hear from you first.
Well, I'm a recent entrant to online dating. I'm only on Hinge.
Welcome.
I know. What a fantastic place. But I just want to say that it's a far different world for a woman than it is for a man. So I want to apologize to all the men who are listening and who are on dating apps or who are planning to get on them. It can be quite murderous to be rejected all the time. We're very sorry. Please don't come to our offices with a bottle of acid.
Oh my God.
You know.
I thought you were going to say a bottle of wine, and I'm like, why not?
really?
Why not? You know,
Yeah.
come on. Fail once, you try again.
Yes, but yes, if it's going to be a bottle, please let it have wine. And yes, it is. I'd imagine it is very hard to be dating constantly and to be dating online particularly because all you have is one profile, 6 photographs and 3 really, really sad pieces of text to help you sell, and it's a jungle out there. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now it's that age where like men are the ones who have to sell themselves out there. Like, hey, look, this is what I can do.
Finally, she says.
But yeah, so when you are online, Surbi and Rachel, what do you guys look for in profiles? Like, let's start with the profiles.
Ooh, honestly, not too many selfies. Please don't, not if there are more than 2 mirror selfies, I am out here. And
Okay.
I don't, I'm sorry. I
agree.
I can do 1 selfie max.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
Also,
just shows
yeah.
I go out of the house and I have other people take photos of me.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, I get
arrange,
that.
just make it happen. Or just just get an intern to take photos of you, man. You
Intern.
Get an
Listen,
intern.
I need a Tinder intern right now. Are you good at social media?
I bet this is a service. I bet this you can do.
No,
this.
it's definitely a service.
If it's actually a service, I'd love to sign up. If anyone needs help with their profiles,
I'd like to see your profile first, Gaurav.
Oh,
my
definitely.
God.
I definitely show it.
Also,
to you.
another thing that they do is they put up a lot of group photos, so you
Yeah.
can't tell.
Yeah.
Like 3 of the photos are group photos,
And
the
you're
third-
usually the ugliest one in all
Yeah.
of them. So why would you do that?
And usually the 3 of them are all 3 of them are super ugly. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, how do I decide who not to date from this one? It's a tricky one.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But sometimes the bios say I'm third from left.
That's useless. I mean, you're living in a world where your app is on your bloody smartphone, and that smartphone has a camera. Use it. I don't want
Not take selfies,
3-year-old. Yeah, I don't want 3-year-old blurry pictures of you in a pool with someone who may or may not be your sister, aunt, whatever, or some random buddy. I don't want a glass of beer in your hand.
Yeah.
I don't want photos of you in silhouettes. We're trying to figure out who you are.
That's
There
true.
are a million other people like you. Stand out, for Christ's sake.
What about you, Abbas? Do you have any tips for the girls so they can match with you?
None at all. Just swipe right. Please.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
My favorite quote always comes up. Not a quote like saying beggars can't be choosers. That's what ends up happening.
No, but about the picture thing, do you think linking your Instagram account to the profile helps?
No, No, because then you get like weird DMs, and that's not something I want.
No, if the
from
guy
dating
links
app.
his.
It depends
Yeah.
on what your Instagram account is like. If I'm going to see 3 terrible pictures of you, and then you're going to link to 15 terrible pictures of you, plus one photo of what you ate last night, and your Harley Davidson, and the last time you went to the bloody mountains.
That's true. Also,
who
someone who
cares?
treks, that's a complete swipe left.
Yes,
Please
yes.
don't trek and tell me.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't gym and tell me,
Don't
don't
gym.
trek and tell me.
Don't
And if
gym.
you are dying to go to Ladakh, and you're dying to go to South America, and you're dying to go to New Zealand, and you're dying to go to Iran, then go. Don't tell me. This is not a travel buddy website.
But I'll be very honest with you. All these things you're telling us about profiles about guys, you won't believe the number of girls with exact same problems. Here's the funniest thing that I have found on like Tinder and everything is not looking for relationships,
Right.
not looking for hookups,
Right.
just looking for friends. So far, so fine. If you're shorter than 5'10", swipe left. I'm like, whoa, if you just want to be friends, how does my height
That's a
matter?
damn good point. That's
Right?
a damn... Girls, come on.
Come on, girls, like short guys are fun.
Exactly.
We get into places other people can't get.
All right.
Okay then.
No, I'm talking about like schools and
Tiny
Right.
lights.
Hey, I mean, if you're in
Zoos.
school,
I mean, I'm
you
gonna say
shouldn't be
zoos.
on the app.
I thought you meant air conditioning vents. You know, he's so tiny, he'd fit anywhere. I don't know.
So,
So
yeah.
Gaurav, office का AC नहीं चल रहा है.
Send the child.
See,
Yeah.
I'm only tiny vertically, not horizontally. So it's a bit of an.
Let's move on. This is getting too close for comfort
Let's not
now.
get into dimensions
Yeah.
here in this app.
So okay. So profile, it's mostly in your pictures itself. Put
Be clear.
something that shows something about your character. Like if you're a
Yes.
person who goes out, let us know that. If you're a person who stays at home,
Yeah.
let us know that.
Yeah, and if you are someone who just goes out and
Uh-huh.
who goes out drinking and who goes out gymming and who goes out trekking, there is nothing that distinguishes you from everyone else.
Right.
What you have done is made yourself the most vanilla person ever.
Right.
So find something different. Even if you haven't read those books, and I know several boys who I've dated who said, I'm in the middle of Sapiens, and they haven't read anything. The last book they read was Archie Comics or something.
They meant it as evolution. They're in the middle of city.
Just find things that appeal to you that you think don't appeal to as many people. Distinguish yourself.
Right.
Girls are interested in how different you are from everyone, not how much you are like everyone else. Because face it, everyone is
The
kind of
same.
boring.
Which is why I feel like Hinge is a better app than Tinder because you have
100%.
a lot of questions to answer and like you get to know much more about a person. Of course, you have to put in effort.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't just be like, because some people do this. They don't answer any question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
put 3 dots. Just here for my mirror selfies. That's not
Yeah.
going to work out
And
for
then
you.
they wonder why girls aren't
Yeah.
sort of swiping on them or matching
right.
them.
I mean, I think the difference between Tinder and Hinge is that if you're on Hinge, it's very, very, very specific that you're
Yeah.
here for dating,
Really?
right?
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
it's
okay.
a more
I mean, if you're going to be
people are
answering
serious.
so
Fair
many
enough.
questions
Yes,
and
yes.
everything
Because
to
the
look for someone
personality
compatible of the opposite sex, it's very, very obvious that, well, I'm here for something serious and I'm not really fooling around. And a lot of people in India, they are still like really uncomfortable to like go on that first date because it seems like such a big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
people who have gone on dates know it's just meeting another person and seeing if you vibe.
Exactly.
But if you are one of those people who are going for the first time, you want to be like, listen, I'm not looking for anything serious. I just want a friend.
Yes.
Because that's how.
And that's hard
friends-
enough, you know.
Yeah, it is. So, I mean, I would love to debunk this theory of the friend zone. Guys, there is no such thing as a friend zone. Every single girlfriend I've had or a girl I've been with, it is through the friend zone. You become friends first. It is so much better. Like don't you guys agree? Like, if you become friends with the person first, that level of intimacy is like so much better.
I know, but then I don't know if I'm going for that. If I'm
Yeah.
what if I'm just here to make friends with you?
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
you can. That can be your objective to begin with,
Yeah.
and then I mean, if you're an open-minded person, then you can decide whether you want to be a friend, not a friend, more than a friend. You know, it's
No, so I have
perspective,
a take on this. What you described as a friend zone is just friendship. Okay, friend zone is a construct which is made by men because they think if you're friends with a woman, she owes it to you to sleep with you,
Exactly.
and if she doesn't, I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm in some zone. What you describe that you become friends with someone and eventually
And a
leads to
friend-
something,
yeah.
that's just
It's
friendship.
and
become-
a friend zone is an excuse that men create for the
Not-
fact that they're
Yeah.
not getting any.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my whole idea of friend zone was wrong. I thought,
You
my life is
learned
a lie.
something new.
I thought like all my friends like who are girls like who are my friends who I don't want to sleep with. We're all in the friend zone only together. What?
Tomorrow on a very special episode.
We are debunking friends.
Yeah, we bunked a myth for you tonight.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
You know what? At this point, let's just take a quick break, and after the break, we're going to be back about the kind of conversations we begin on
Excellent.
online dating.
Excellent.
Yeah?
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Why don't we talk about mental illness? For that matter, we don't even talk about emotional wellness. And if we can't talk about either of these basic, very basic aspects of being human, what do we do when we just feel like something's not right?
Hi, I'm Zain,
And I'm Avanti.
and this is Marbles Lost and Found, a show where we invite conversations about mental health and illness and just get people to talk about it, because it's okay to do so. Catch Marbles Lost and Found every Tuesday on the IVM app, website, or anywhere you get your podcasts from.
And we're back. So before we begin about the conversations we have, I think Abbas had a really interesting question to ask. Abbas?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask that do you use different bios for different websites? Like you mentioned, Tinder has mostly like 4 or 5 lines that allows you to write, but something like OkCupid, it asks you what's your favorite movie, how do you see your future, and all of that. So how do you go about that?
I do have different set of bios for both the apps. Also, I feel like so when I had these two apps on my phone, the push notifications for Tinder were just off all the time. Because I could not deal with Tinder.
It just goes beep, beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep, 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 beep. That's how many men are interested.
I feel like Tinder was just,
For me, like once every 3 months, I get a ting. What?
Ooh.
And it's like renew your Tinder membership. Go for the paid version.
Girls, he's right across from me and he's really hella handsome. I'm just saying.
That's very nice of you to say on an audio medium.
Yeah, so I did have different set of bios. Hinge was obviously, I took out more time to do this, and you need to sit down and think about your interests and shit. So Hinge was clearly what I was going for.
Okay.
Tinder I did
Yeah.
not pay much attention to.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going on to do online dating, if you go into the serious ones, you're going to find something more meaningful. Tinder is something where people just go on just for fun nowadays.
I
It's just
know.
not looking for anything. Just here
It's
to
geared for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
geared for that.
yeah.
What about you? Do you have 2 different bios, Rachel?
I'm only on one app because that's as much as I can handle right now. But Hinge, I think it's really easy to, and exactly what you were saying, if you are looking for friendship or you're just looking for conversation, but more importantly, if you're looking for somebody, if you're looking for more than just the physical idea
You want
of
a
another
connection,
person,
yeah.
if you want a connection, Hinge allows a little more of that because it asks you that you can choose from the questions you want to answer. And I think when a woman is looking, particularly me, if I'm looking for a man and I'm trying to figure out what he's about, what's making him tick, the way that he answers the questions is so key, and so many guys just don't get it, one of the big mistakes you do that I do see is they will answer the questions, as straightforwardly as possible. The next vacation I want to go on,
France.
Maldives, whatever, or rate these shows X, Y, and Z, and then they'll just sort of just answer them,
Yeah.
which is nice, but
It's almost like
So
they're
then
just so
what should-
grandpa about
yeah,
this.
exactly. Stop
just
being so
please.
grandpa. Show me that you're a funny person.
Yeah. Okay.
Subvert all
Add
of that.
something to
If
it.
the next vacation I want to go on is
Yeah,
Maldives,
one of the question-
but I don't want
Yeah.
to go, Maldives. Or let's give you an example. The next vacation I want to go on, okay? It's like one of the most common
Your heart.
questions that men choose to want to answer.
Your
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah. Okay. Please never say your heart.
Yeah, one of the questions they have on Hinge is,
all you get is your
what am I
heart.
looking for here? And the most people answered you.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah, stop
Don't
being
say-
corny, but be funny. And you know what? If there's a woman in your life who you have a platonic relationship with, show that profile to her. And if she's just laughing at the profile, that's what other girls are going to do. So kind of just road test the stuff, Find a way to put a joke in. Full sentences work rather than one-word answers, So one of the questions is, at the party, you will usually find me at. And then they will say, bar. and come on,
Gaurav,
put
they've
yourself...
seen your profile.
It's fine, please,
They'll
please.
find me after the bar in the gutter.
Yeah, great. See, exactly. Now, if you'd put that on your profile, no one would care.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah. So, but a better way to answer that question is, a place to find me at a party is at the bar. I'll be mixing drinks. I fix a mean cocktail. Would you like one? I bet I could guess your favorite in the first 15 seconds.
Are
That's a
people
guy
reading that
pushing.
much?
Girls read far more than boys do.
Oh my god, yes we are.
Okay.
I think we're getting a sense of why these boys are not scoring.
I think we need another episode where we just check out both of your profiles and fix them for you.
Hold on.
We need to fix our dating profiles.
When did we establish that me and Abbas are not scoring?
That's true.
Oh, I'm so sorry for making these.
Yeah,
I mean,
what
you
is
By the
just
way,
figured-
girls, they are both handsome.
Also, we're forgetting you just figured what a friend zone is.
So that just tells you how much I'm scoring. Because I'm like, what is this friend zone? I had a whole
Sure, good save, good save.
I had a whole misconception about the friend zone.
Did you think it was a gaming zone where people just go and like be friends together?
No.
Friend zone.
So, anyways, how often is the ratio between girls messaging guys first and guys messaging you first?
I'm gonna answer that. So, I made my profile on a Monday night. Okay. And I went to sleep. And on Tuesday morning, I had 75 matches.
Boom.
Okay. And I was immediately upgraded to preferred whatchamacallit and things like that.
You get
Because
3 months of free membership.
yeah,
or
you get
something.
and those 3 months of free membership means that you can accept as many matches as you like.
Okay.
And I just want to say, I don't think I've matched and accepted matches from more than 5 people over 5 months. So girls are extremely picky. And if you want to be part of that pickiness and not say, hey man, I made a hinge account, nobody cares, man, I'll kill everybody. No, don't be that guy. Just make yourself a better profile. Make yourself seen, heard, understood and liked.
Have a good opening line.
I've
Opening
always
lines
heard
really-
this. I've always heard this in India. It's like girls are very picky. Girls are very picky. But is it that girls are picky, or is it that guys out there are just not trying?
Yeah. I feel like nobody takes honestly though, like maybe 2 out of 10 guys take an effort into a good opening line.
Yeah.
I'm not going to reply to like 100 heys or highs. Just please take an effort.
And we are never
ask
going to
the
reply
question.
to hey babe. So go
Yeah.
away now.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. Because when I speak to a woman in person, right? If I go to a bar and I talk to a girl, or if I even talk to one of my platonic friends who's a girl, everyone says, "Oh, you know what? It's so simple. Just be funny, have some hygiene, like." Respect personal space, blah blah blah, blah blah blah.
Those are all
and it's so simple. And I'm like, dude, I got all this. I got all of this shit, And then you talk about online dating with girls, and they're like, yeah, I swipe 1 right to 100 left.
Yeah,
and I'm like, wait, but this is like the things you girls want actually out of guys. It's so easy to achieve. It's not like getting a 6-pack or something, which is like a difficult thing, at least in my opinion. It's so easy to achieve. So is it actually girls are picky, or is it just guys aren't trying?
I think there's just so many more men than there are women. We can't help but be picky.
Okay.
And we have the option to be picky, so we're going to be picky.
Fair. It's not that the guys out there are not bad.
Yeah. It's just that, you may be wonderful, but if that's not going to come across on your profile, and your profile is all you have for me to swipe right and left, do everything you can. And I'm not saying you have to, get down on all fours and start panting like a dog. We don't even want that. But we want to know who you are beyond all the cliches.
Right.
So take all the cliches away from it. And no one's interested in, the fact that you like to drink. Because who cares? That's not a deal breaker. Figure out what it is a woman will think of as a deal breaker. Be genuinely funny. Be original in one way, so that person will remember you for more than 1 microsecond.
Fair.
And but let me flip that question. How many women do you swipe right to as compared to the ones you let go?
So here's the thing. Okay,
All of them. Okay, got it.
No. Okay, I'll be honest. Okay, so I have the upgraded version of Tinder where I have those 5 super like
likes,
options, right?
Okay.
So I usually swipe right to anyone where I don't see anything. I don't see any red flags. Like
What
What
are red
are the
flags
red
for a
flags,
woman?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
On a dating app.
A red flag for a woman is if she's all like, I am daddy's girl and
Ooh, those are
things
still
like
around?
that. Oh, dude, daddy's princess, wish me on 23rd
Oh, no.
of August, and I'm like,
No.
okay, sure. Or, sometimes from the pictures itself, as you can tell, you can see that, like, what their vibe is. If you see a person going out a lot, and if you see a person, like, at home a lot, depending on the kind of pictures they have, you can tell a lot about their vibe. And if you think you'll be able to add to it.
Nice.
Right? You'll be
That's
able
a nice way to look at it.
Yeah. Will you be able to complement it in a way which isn't going to clash in the future for any reason? So I usually swipe left to people I don't think I'm compatible with. I swipe right to most people regardless of bio or looks or anything. based on the vibe thing and the red flags thing. And I take time to look at each one to see if there's anything written because I have the super like option.
Nice.
So I stopped swiping once I gotten my 5 girls of the day.
Okay.
You know,
Of the
like
day? Every day?
Wow.
every day you get 5 super likes. So I
My 5 girls of the day. Oh my god.
they don't match with me. I just get to like super like them and like let them know. Listen, to
I'm
your
around, yeah,
To
yeah.
no to your profile, I got something witty to say, or I got something
Oh,
that
that's
can
nice.
definitely
Yes.
yeah.
Open with something witty. Never ever
Yeah.
open
For sure.
with a high, because
For
that
sure.
girl is,
Yeah.
the girl who you like
Oh.
is getting 45
So
highs.
I have
So-
personally been on Tinder for like 4 years.
Woohoo.
Okay, on and off, more than 4 years maybe. 5. But since
But how
since
old are you?
Tinder
You
started,
went on 18 when you were 18.
yeah,
you
when
said.
I was 18, I
Okay.
started, and I did not know anything about this online dating thing. I didn't even know anything about girls, to be
Yeah.
very honest. At that age, I was very, very new. I didn't know how to approach girls, talk to girls. So everything I learned about online was through friends.
Nice.
And all these other 18-year-old frat boys in Boston, they're all like, hey, babe, winky face. And I tried that for a whole year. I tried that, and then I didn't get any responses.
Why am I not
And-
surprised?
And I was so like, what is happening? This is what everyone else is doing. And these guys talk about all these stories like, oh yeah, man, I went to this girl's house. And then I realized like their USP is something else.
Yeah.
There's a USP. That's a USP.
What?
What?
That's a USP.
I have a question for both of you. What do you think is a good opening line from a girl? Like, what's a good opening line
Just
for a girl
talk
to say
to
you?
us.
Please.
Like don't make like I hate
Just
it.
talk
I hate
to
it.
us.
I
Say
hate it when
anything.
girls in their bio they write, I'm not going to message first, and if you start with a hi or a, get lost. And I'm like, listen, why are we the only ones trying to make any effort over here?
start.
Sure, you guys have
Right.
options and things like that, but at some level, I mean, guys also like would take more
Yeah,
effort if they notice girls taking an effort too, right?
For sure.
'Cause,
What do you
yeah.
think?
No, but I like it when a girl messages me and she puts a reference to my
To
something in my
something,
bio
yeah, I think
because
that's
that
very
definitely.
And that's so easy to do. I feel
That's
like
so
that's
easy
so
to do.
easy.
You have a big
and like
bio.
immediately I'm into this conversation
Yes.
because he's referenced
Because
something.
he's paid attention.
Exactly,
Because he's
yeah.
paid
Exactly,
attention.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I usually reference something to the bio, or I usually have a question about one of their profile pictures about like, oh, where was this taken?
Exactly.
And then
which
that
is
leads
which
to
is
a
why it's a
conversation.
clever strategy to end your bio with a question so that when someone answers, they start.
yeah,
to
they
then
do
answer.
this thing. It's a
Online
new
dating
thing now.
via bars.
It's a new thing now. People are like end your Tinder bios with a question so they can like it's easier
That's
to
so
start a
cool.
conversation
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
with.
Yeah, because
Like
Tinder allows you so
Yeah.
little otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one of the Tinder questions was, "Who's your favorite Instagram dog?"
Oh, I love
like,
that
So
question.
yeah, that's a good question to like get back to. Like, oh, I like this.
Instagram dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
insane.
Imagine,
Dogs.
look at the filters in that question. They assume you're on Instagram. They assume
Instagram
you're
ke
interested
kutte.
in dogs. You're
Yeah,
it just
sure.
kind of opens out a whole
Unless
very
you're gonna
specific path.
reply with yourself in a dog filter,
Oh
then
my
don't.
gosh, never go on swipe left.
I mean, but that made these girls laugh. I mean, but like,
In person, yes.
yeah.
Also, yeah.
I've never seen you talk so much on any other podcast. By the way, this is like someone's
too
opened the
excited.
Pandora's box.
Like, okay, the thing I hate about the Indian dating scene in general, why does only online dating work in India, is because outside in bars and everything, there is so much desperation by Indian men.
Because going to
It's
a bar,
terrible.
okay, I have sort of an answer to that. Going to a bar in the evening after work is still considered something that's done by the elite. It's done by something
An
of a
elite
certain
men. An elite
yeah,
men.
and a certain social stature. And look at the stats of women's safety in India. It's just not safe for women to go out at night and be approached in a bar and think that this is going to end
let's say
well.
if you take Mumbai for example, it's one of the safest places for women in any city with more than 10 million people in the world, actually. So, I mean, there's really no excuse if we are talking about Mumbai specifically, why that culture of meeting people outside doesn't
that
work.
culture still exists,
It exists, but it's kind of creepy now because
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I think it might still be
thought
safe
process
for
is-
women.
yeah.
But for every woman who knows that she's safe, there are probably 9 men who think, hey, baby, you were in the bar. That's a green signal for me. And, it's
That's
a
terrible.
license for a man to be
Yeah,
creepy. So
that's
let's not go there.
terrible. Yeah.
But that said, there are so many ways to have a first date that does not have to include a dimly lit bar where I can't see how big your nose is. And
that's
more
important.
importantly, after 4 beers, then I know that it's not too big at all. Just the nose.
also for I mean, I have been an introvert all my life. It's high. It's only now that I'm getting some self-confidence to go and approach people. Otherwise, I couldn't do that before.
After meeting Gaurav, it's like, Gaurav ko bhi mil rahi ladkiyan, to like, "Arey, mujhe
it's
kyun?"
like,
Of course.
Lies, they're all friend zones.
Right, exactly. So online it's relatively easier to make a profile and
also
put
organic.
It out there.
I feel like organic just seems like too far. Like I don't know. It just seems like a movie now. I cannot do organic things anymore.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Wow.
But do you know
the most millennial statement of the year has been uttered.
I know, because I
What are
cannot.
you saying? I
don't have the time to wait for a party to bump into someone and to have a conversation and hope they will get back to me.
May I just say, I have a friend in the last decade, in I think 2004, 2005, who said to me that she thought she would meet the man of her dreams at this small DVD rental place on Carter Road, which doesn't exist anymore, and they would both reach for the same DVD at the same time, and that would be her meet cute. She is still single. Never gonna happen, girls. Just start swiping.
All right. You know what? I think we talked a lot about profiles, how to first, how to make that first connection with the other person, and how you should be selling yourself online. I mean, this episode was mostly for guys.
Don't sell yourself online. Don't. I mean,
Marketing,
that can be interpreted in a different way.
Marketing, self. What do you call that?
USP.
Self-promotion. Self-promotion.
Unique selling point. Yeah. So guys out there, remember, put some profile pictures with some character. Put those 150 characters in the word box.
Yes.
And
reach all your word counts. Let's see.
Use it.
Avoid selfies avoid selfies.
Don't start conversations with "Hey babe," or "baby," or "babes." I don't know.
Reference what she said. Reference what she said.
Yeah, I love that reference. Yeah.
That was such a useful tip.
So I mean, definitely. This is one theory I had. If you just put your bio as all the TV shows which are popular right now.
Oh no.
One of
them will be like, "Oh, I also love this show."
Just put a TV guide as your profile.
It's just an IMDb list of all the shows you've watched.
And start with Shawshank Redemption, that big boy movie that only boys like.
You don't like Shawshank Redemption?
It's all right.
We need to have another podcast about why you don't like Shawshank Redemption. What is this?
It's all right. But I see Shawshank all the time on Hinge, or maybe just the people in my age bracket.
So that tells you a little bit about Rachel Lopez, her age bracket. So she's single, guys. So Rachel, tell us a little bit about where people can find you on social media, if not on Hinge.
Yes, please don't find me on Hinge.
On Hinge, she tells people don't find me on social media. So, okay.
No, I'm on Instagram. Please find me on The Greater Bombay. You will be able to make great sense of my forehead, because that's all you will see.
Fantastic. Are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter. I am at Greater Bombay.
Greater Bombay. There's no the.
There's no the for Twitter.
Greater Bombay. All right, Abbas, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at Abbas Momin and on Instagram at Abbas Momin88. And I have a Facebook page. Go like it.
You done? And what about you, Surbhi?
You can find me on Twitter at @SmallTalkPolice, and you can find me on Instagram at Surbhi Bagga.
Awesome. And you guys can find me on Instagram at Aya_G. Or if you see my profile on Tinder, just swipe right and
wow,
let's
that's
chat.
needy. Come, you can't put that on a podcast.
Hey, I didn't say let's meet and let's drink and let's go back to my place.
Very needy.
Let's chat.
Or just go to Hoppy Pola or Antisocial on any given night, and you're prone to bump into Gaurav anyway.
So that was our episode, guys. Until next time, bye.
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 Did you know that Parsis in Mumbai, instead of being left at the Tower of Silence after they die, are now cremated? And why? Because a cow fell sick in the early 1990s. Did you know that the smog in Delhi is caused by something that farmers in Punjab do, and that there's no way to stop them? Did you know that there wasn't one gas tragedy in Bhopal, but 3? One of them was seen, but 2 were unseen. Did you know that many well-intentioned government policies hurt the people they're supposed to help? Why was demonetization a bad idea? How should GST have been implemented? Why are all our politicians so corrupt when not all of them are bad people? I'm Amit Verma, and in my weekly podcast, The Seen and the Unseen, I take a shot at answering all these questions and many more. I aim to go beyond the scene and show you the unseen effects of public policy and private action. I speak to experts on economics, political philosophy, cognitive neuroscience, and constitutional law so that their insights can blow not only my mind, but also yours. The Seen and the Unseen releases every Monday. So do check out the archives and follow the show at seenunseen.in. You can also subscribe to The Seen and the Unseen on whatever podcast app you happen to prefer.
Shunyavan, 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 Shunyavan.
$1 billion acquisition. Another copycat startup got formed.
No, the tech world in India is surely moving double the speed of this voiceover.
Tune in to Shunya One every Tuesday to catch us talking to the smartest people we know on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.